morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Kids Community Connections, 103.1 Kids FM. I'm Phyllis Jones, your host for this morning. And what I want to tell everybody, I want to remind you, school is out, but some kids are still going to summer school. And I work summer school, and I've seen some cars flying down Elms Road. Even though the sign is blinking to go 25, I see some 45s and some 50s. So, even though school is out, remember summer school is in, and still watch out for the little kids because they are going to summer school. And just be careful, be mindful. When that light's blinking, it means slow down. By sheer accident, that blinking light is telling you something, and it's saying slow down. So if you don't want a ticket, and how crazy would it be you get a ticket for speeding in the school zone, really? That shows you disrespect the laws, but you also have no respect for the life of a child. At least that's what I say. So, yeah, I'm saying that. So, like I said, be mindful that even though school is out, some kids are going to summer school. And just be careful. Like I said, when the light's flashing, slow down. When you see some little kids, be mindful. Because, especially the little ones, I'll say in elementary school, if they want to run across the street to get that ball, they forget the cars that could be going past. They forget. They don't pay attention. They want that ball. First thought is ball. So I'm saying slow down, be careful. Wherever you're going to be, it's going to still be there when you get there. And if you're running late, you're going to still be late. Even if you drive slow, you're going to be late because you're already late. So there's no such thing as later and latest of what's going to happen to you. You late. So I want you to be careful and don't let me find out you hit any kids. Because I'm going to talk about you on the radio. Really, I am. Because I can. And they won't say nothing about it. But anyway, be careful. Also, this is, first, let me go back. Our Kids Community Connections, we helped to get Bernadette Stands to Black Road Bookstore on Thursday. And if you don't know who Bernadette Stands is, she played Thelma on Good Times. I want to thank everybody for coming out because everybody said they heard it on the radio, which was great. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, and she had a great time, and so did we. We learned some things. Like I didn't know that who played her brother JJ. He was 29 years old at that time, and she was 16. I didn't know he was 29. I don't know how old I thought he was, but I had no clue that he was that old. But it was kind of interesting to find out because I was assuming he was way younger. I mean, the way I guess you can't go by looks with us anyway because we do look good when we age. But I didn't know he was that old, and I want to thank everybody for coming out. And also, like I said, remember this is Juneteenth weekend. So today on Sunday, you have two events going on. You have a Taste of Africa, and it's today from 11 to 6, and it's at the Killeen Conference Civic Center. It's free. That new word, free 99. That's what it's going to cost you to be there. So you really have no excuse not to go. Also, that Sunday in the same place from 2 to 3, there's going to be a natural hair and health expo. And those that's on Creamy Crack, you women, y'all can come. We'll let y'all in. We pray for you that y'all still hooked on Creamy Crack, but we're trying to make y'all make that change. But sometimes y'all won't. But anyway, the hair show and the health expo, they're also free, and they're at the Conference Civic Center, and they're today from 2 to 3. So for those of you who always say there's nothing free to do in the area, you need to stop saying that. And you need, first of all, if you listen to Kids 103.1, you'll find out what's going on through the weekday. You really will. Because you know what? We have proven that we are in the neighborhood and on the streets. Those are two different things. So we are in the neighborhood, we're on the streets, and we know what's going on. And we make sure that you find out what's going on. So when you want to know, listen to us. You can go to our Facebook page. It's on there. You can find out you can find everything you want to do in the community because we're making sure to let you know. Other stations probably not, but we are. Yeah, I said it. I said it. So, I can't do nothing about it. I said it. But, we are the ones that's let you know what's going on in the community. And we're willing to be in the streets to find out what's going on in the community because we want to make sure that you know, and we want to let you know that Kids cares. We do, you buy ad from us and do all this stuff, but we also do a lot for the community, and we want the community to know that we're always here and we always will be. We're not going to play those shady games. I'm not saying some other station is, but anyway, we're not. And if you call us, we do answer the phone, so don't, we don't, not answer the phone and everything like that. But we're friendly and we're here. So that's what I'm saying about KISS. If you want to know what's going on in the community, we'll tell you. But also, every year, it's this man, his name is, I don't know if you know him, his name is Jonathan Haywood. I don't know if you know him or not. But, he thinks that he's going to have an event and not come on here and talk about it. Somehow or another, I don't know how he assumes that that's going to happen. I really don't understand how he assumes that's going to not happen. But, he comes by here, sneakily drops off flyers while Mel's on the MIC is here. He drops off flyers and run. And I think that's really cute. And, normally I go to his meeting and bust him out. Yeah, I do. I do. I go to his meeting, usually stand up and let him know and thank him for coming on the show, which he hasn't been on yet. So at that point, he can't, in front of like 50 people, say, I'm not coming. But you know what? It's all good and it's all done in love. So good morning, Jonathan. How you doing?
Good morning, Phyllis, and thanks again for having me on KISS 103.1 FM. It is a great pleasure to be here with you this morning. And the great thing, we want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day out there to all the fathers. And the great thing is I got my granddaughter with me this morning.
And that's good.
And I tell you, and that's Miss Anijah Ray Robinson. We call her Night. So we getting ready for our 9th Independence Day celebration.
And what is that?
That is a free picnic, as you would say, free 99.
It's free 99.
Free
but first
99.
of all, who doing it?
Star Group Veteran Helping Veterans.
And what is that?
That is a 501c3 nonprofit organization which does a lot in the community. We try to assist veterans and civilians in getting their disability benefits, free notary. We also help them with food in case they don't have it. We tied into the local food banks. We don't pay anybody electric, gas, water, or phone bills.
I don't do that.
But we're not federally funded. We raise our own funds. Our members are just great. And we just do certain events throughout the year, from a free health fair later on this year, Thanksgiving baskets for at least 350 family. We normally go over 400. And we do some things for a whole lot of children during the holiday season for Christmas to make sure they have a great Christmas. Not only that we go to the VA and to Stony Brook Assisted Living here in the community, and we do an ice cream social. And if you want to see somebody get to 75 in one of the electric wheelchairs, just tell them you got a root beer float.
So what are you doing next Saturday, which will be the 24th?
Yes, that's it.
What are you doing?
Well, at the 24th, on the 24th of June at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a great Independence Day celebration. It's going to kick off with us unveiling the Purple Heart Memorial Wall, which is 618 of our fallen soldiers from the state of Texas that received the Purple Heart. But even back up one day to the 23rd at 1 o'clock on Constitution and Patriot, right behind the Cove Theater, we're going to be taking that memorial wall and we're going to have it like a funeral procession. And we're going to bring it through the city of Cove to the Civic Center.
Okay.
But we can post it there in the Civic Center for the next day's activity. So we have different organizations, different folks who are helping everybody come out and support that. Even if you can't, just to be on the sidewalk, to wave a flag or whatever, and just render the courtesy that those young men and women deserve, because they have made the ultimate sacrifice by giving their life for their country.
Okay. All right. So when we show up on Saturday, what time we show up at?
When you show up, the door is going to open at 10 o'clock.
All right.
At 11 o'clock, the show going to start. And when I say show, it's going to be a show, because we're going to have some local performers performing. I'm not going to give their names, but they're going to be there to perform. We're also going to have a DJ. And most of all, we're going to have these briskets and these ribs, hot links, hot dogs, and hamburgers that's free, and that our organization, our advisory council, have did a great job, along with Vice President Mr. John Robertson and Michael Barker and Lillian Estes, was the spearheading that as far as all the cooking goes. And I tell you, it's going to be a great event. And then my granddaughter going to tell us what we're going to have for the children.
We're going to have a game truck.
Not the game truck.
Yes. Said yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to have to go in there again. I've never been in there. I'm going to have to go in there because I don't understand what's
painting.
About. Face painting? Cool.
Bounce house.
Uh-oh, okay.
And plenty of food.
And plenty of food. That will be delicious.
And since I could say this, Mel's right here loves food, so he'll be out there for some food.
And everybody is welcome.
Everybody is welcome to the picnic.
So from Killeen, Cove, Heights.
Everyone is welcome from all the surrounding communities, and we're hoping that we'll at least feed over 1,300 folks. We're hoping that we're gonna just serve until we run out, and it's from 11 to 3. And I tell you, it's indoors, so it won't mess up our hair. So come on out and enjoy. And I tell you, you're gonna have a blast. We also have some great sponsors in this event that's donating different door prizes. Walmart Copperas Cove, 50-inch screen television. Lowe's, a barbecue grill. Temple in Harker Heights is giving a pergola with a swinging bench on it. Also, Temple in Sam's gonna give, I believe, another barbecue grill. And then different just companies and different people are just donating things for us to raffle off, and they're gonna be free. And the first 500 folks that come through the door is gonna get a bag with different nonprofits and different organizations and our sponsors' information that they can use further when they leave the picnic, that they'll have for their resources to get information out. So we're doing some great things, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay, so what started Veteran Star Group, Veterans Helping Veterans, to do the Happy Independence Day? What started it? I mean,
well, we started years ago in Harker Heights in Carl Levin Park, and we was taking donations, putting money in a hat. A few people just to have a barbecue, and as we started cooking, other people started coming, and so we just opened it up to everybody. So each year it started, and the next thing we know, it's become an annual event, and it feeds a lot of folks, and it's free. And we do it a week before the actual holiday. That way our volunteers can be with their families during the holiday season.
Okay, because it's interesting to find out, why groups do what they do.
We do what we do because we care.
There you go.
And you care when you don't get paid for it. When you're doing it from the kindness of your heart, you'll be truly blessed for what you do for others. And so we're really thankful. And one, got to give you this plug. It ain't that I try to avoid your show, but I'm going to tell you, since the organization have started in the community, 103, I'm telling you, .1 FM have been there every step of the way. Y'all continue to blast out our information, our flyers on your web page. So we appreciate everything you guys do, not only for us, but for all the other organizations within the community. And especially thanks go out to you. I don't know how you get around and how you do it, but you add everything. And I tell you, we truly appreciate you and love you, and we're thankful for everything that you do. And we hope that you continue to stay along with us through this course and stay on this ride with us, because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a great one.
Well, thank you. And the station thanks you. And we do what we do because we care. We care. Because it's not all about being a radio station. That's not it. Because I'll say anybody can do a radio station. But the care and the concern you put into it is a totally different thing. So I want to thank you on behalf of 103.1 and of Community Connections. Thank you, and we will continue. We will continue.
Okay, me and Nigel, it was great to be here. Tell everybody, say we love you, and wish everybody happy Father's Day.
We love you, and we wish every father a happy Father's Day.
I would say thank you for men standing up to be the father. And I want to thank you and I also want to thank the men who stood up to be the father and they're not the father. That's important also.
Well, you only have to do me one more favor.
Uh-oh.
Because tonight I want you to wish your father a happy Father's Day. So tell your daddy happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy.
But also, as the twist, for those dads who haven't been around and they got 50 million excuses, 50 million excuses. Tomorrow, let's reverse things. You call your family. So the dads who've been hanging out and you haven't talked to the kid because you issues this, issue that. Well, tomorrow's Father's Day and it's your day, so make it your day and your job. Call your family. Call your kids that you haven't talked to in 10, 20 years. Don't do the backup, how things been. No, just say, I'm calling to talk to you, see how you doing. Don't go through the apologetic thing, because that's the worst thing you can do, because that's when you start lying. Yeah, I said that. That's when, and you come up with different excuses. But take the flip step and you call your family and say hi, how are you? And for the kids who don't get along with your dad due to some crazy reason or something or whatever, just call and say Happy Father's Day and hang up. I mean, you don't have to hold a long, drawn-out conversation, but do so because that is your father, regardless. Okay, so I want to thank Jonathan for coming on. And next Saturday, I'll be there, but I'll be in 2 places. So I'll be wearing rollerblades on Saturday. I'll be on rollerblades because in Austin, they have an African American book fair. And I'm a reader. I love books. I think everybody's house should be filled with books because the key to life is in a book. The key to everything you do is in a book. So yes, I'm stressing read a book. And as far as African Americans, people will tell you real quick, if you don't want us to know something, put it in a book. So guess what? We need to start opening up those books and start reading it. But so I'll be there, and then I'm gonna jet down to Austin, doing normal speed limit of whatever, and support that because I'm also supposed to be there. So I'll be at both.
Are you going to be on like actual real rollerblades, like skates, rollerblades?
No, my Honda got rollerblades. You don't know that?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You see my Honda,
I'm just trying to imagine the visual of you on some rollerblades. I might have to go get some video for our website at mykiss1031.com. I'm just saying. All right. I'm gonna leave your show alone.
He had to say that he could. It was killing him.
It was killing me inside. I couldn't hold it back.
Nah. Me and my Honda, we got blades, and we can fly. We got that. Not that I'm plugging Honda, but hey, it takes me to where I need to go from A, B, C, D.
I am a paid endorser of the Central Texas Honda dealers, and I endorse that statement, young lady. Continue, please. Talk up the Honda dealers. I'm not afraid to admit it.
See, I didn't say that he did. Y'all didn't hear me say that.
Mel's on the MIC said it. That's right. I said it. I love the Central Texas Honda dealers and all their great wide variety of vehicles on their lot right now at Cleo Bay Honda.
Yeah. Those happen to be my best friends.
Mine's too.
Even though I'm from Detroit.
Mine's too.
And I can't drive at home. But it's okay. It's another story. We won't talk about that on the radio, but I really can't drive my vehicle home.
Okay, so where you at next week? What else are you doing next weekend?
Next weekend, I will be I will be at Veterans Star Group, Veterans Helping Veterans. Their Happy Independence Day celebration. I'll be there at 11. I'm gonna stay out a little bit of time, and then I will be at the George Washington Carver Museum in Austin for the African American Book Festival. I'll be there, and that will be that starts at 10 and it's till 4. So I'll be both places and supporting what we do support. And like I said, books are important. We need to read. We need to teach our children to read. When my kids were at home, every day we had stop and read. Every day we had stop and read. It was mandatory. My kids knew that. And to say no to that was impossible. And the unfortunate part is when their friends were over at stop and read, they had to stop and read too. So, because I have books. I have more children's books than children do right now, and I don't know why, but I do. But reading is important. But anyway, now we're going to get on my favorite topic, where and Mel's is sitting here like, oh, Lord, what's she going to say now?
Let me go grab my aspirin.
My subject is going to be about our lovely politics, because we thought the session was over. We did. We thought the session was over, and we thought that all of our things that we needed to do was done. And for you veterans who think that everything was done for you, is not. But when the session ended in the last day of May, our Speaker of the House, Joe Strauss, stated that the session was over, everything was done, he was finished, he had nothing else to do, nothing else to say. Well, surprise to him, our Lieutenant Governor said we do. So now there's a special session that will start in July. Do we have to pay for that special session? Yes, we do. We got to pay because they're supposed to be off. Now they're going back in, so we have to pay for the session. And you never guess, Mel's favorite bill is going to be on the floor, the bathroom bill. It's why we have to have a special session. So we have a 2-week special session on mainly the bathroom bill. Then they threw 10 other bills in there just to make us all happy. But Mel's favorite bill is going to be on the list for special sessions.
My favorite bill. The biggest piece of nonsense legislation in a long time. Texas, y'all got to do better. This is y'all bored. That's what it is. That's what it is. They're bored. They have nothing to do.
Also, we need to find out who's funding it, because, you know, in order to call a special session, that's going to cost us a lot of money to pay these people who should have been off chilling, to pay them. Somebody's giving somebody some money, and we need to find out where. You need to know that we're in control of these things happening, and these things happen because we've given the control away to some people we put in office and assumed they were going to do the job they're going to do. Wrong. We need to take it back. We need to do something about it. I know you might say you don't have time, but when you go on Facebook, man, you got time. When you're checking your emails, you got time. Doesn't take long, doesn't take but a simple sentence. You know, and while you're searching for all the other stuff you search for, you just search for your Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick. Just search for him, send him a line. If he gets enough of those, he might listen and think. But we need to take back control of our state government as well as our city government. But we need to take back control, because we're losing control, and they're voting on your life. Most of us think that nothing they do or nothing they say will control what you do. Yes, it does. It does. They control whether you go to work or not, because your job might be gone. And you say, how's that? I'll tell you this. The state of Texas, our legislators voted not to fund therapists. So if you got a child in school that needs speech, the state is not funding it. The speech is therapy. So kids that need physical therapy and all this other therapy, the state is not going to fund it. So I mean, your school district is stuck funding it, which means what? Something's going to get cut, because they can't afford to pay for all these things. So as you think that none of this will touch you, yes, it will. It really will. So we need to be mindful that they're going back in session in July for 2 weeks. And guess what? If they don't vote the way the Lieutenant Governor wants them to vote, he'll send them home again. And guess what he'll do? Bring them back for 2 more weeks. So we got to be careful about this. Also, just in case you do not know, September 1st, no texting and driving becomes a law in Texas, September 1st. So remember, those of you who text and drive happy, learn today to get rid of that addiction you got. Learn to get away from it, because September 1st would be the last day of being able to do it, and the first day that you can get a ticket for it. Only thing this state's going to do now, they're going to put some more teeth into it, because people assume that right now it's too light. So they're going to put some more teeth into it. But pay attention, because you know what? You're not going to remember that the first day. Some people are going to be texting and driving, to which we shouldn't be doing anyway. But remember that. Like last year when I told you about the deadbeat dad, what was going to happen to them with the car registration. You know what? I said it. And I know someone that it happened to. He was 6 months behind. He got a brand new job. He had to get his car registered. He went down. Oops. Couldn't register his car, which meant no job, which put him back, which made an angry man. But, and it didn't work out for him at all. He had to go and do some other things, but it affected him real fast, real quick, without him knowing that it had even passed. Those of you would say it wasn't on the radio, wasn't on television, it wasn't here, it wasn't there. They do put it on there in a little blurb. They put it on there maybe 5 seconds, and then that's all they say about it. Is it in the paper? Yes, it's in the paper. We talk about it on the radio. I'm always beating everybody up about politics on the radio. And not because it's cruel, but it's because we need to know. And it's because there are things that we're not doing. And we needed to go back, and like I said, we need to take control. We gave it away. We need to take it back. And we can go down to our city councils. You go to the city council in Cove. Look at what they're doing with the water bill. They contracted their water out to another company, and the prices have been tripled ever since. They had a town hall meeting, and they got the song and dance, because town hall meetings, when your city government sets up a town hall meeting, it's the song and dance show for you.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you very much for saying that.
So people who went in there thinking they were going to get answers, I don't know why. Because, like I said, that's their song and dance show. Because you know what they're going to tell everybody? We held a meeting. They're going to say, we held a meeting.
Your voices were heard.
You know. But
your voices were heard. That's all you get. Yes, all we did was hear you. Yeah, I heard you. I ain't going to do nothing about it, but I heard you.
That's all they're going to say. And then we can even go to Killeen. You know, Killeen lost over $8 million. They lost it. And now there's an audit, and you have people nervous, running scared. But, you know, how many of you have contacted your councilman and asked you what would they recommend when we find out who these people are? I have. I asked every last one of them. Some of them gave me some crazy answers, and a couple of them gave me the answers I needed to hear, that they're going to prosecute them. And if they are no longer with the city, they're going to see what else they can do. But, you know, and the ones whose name is on the line should lose their jobs. Are we on top of it? No. Should we be? Yes. Because, you know, ultimately, who's going to pay for that? Us. Because that's when those utility fees and all those little fees they want to charge you come into place, because they want the public, the community, the citizens, the residents of Killeen to help pay for this $8 million they lost. So they're going to slap utility fees on you and the other transportation fees on you. And after they do that, we will, at that point, be one of those ones paying for this $8 million loss. Well, do you want to help pay for it? I don't think so. I don't. I really don't. I mean, if they short $8 million, they need to find out where it went, who did it, and go that direction. We don't need to pay for it. But then again, if we don't say anything, guess what? We're going to pay for it. And you're going to gripe and you're going to complain when you should actually just be quiet and don't say anything, because you didn't say anything about it in the first place. You know, whenever you see your city council people, ask them, what's going on? What are we going to do about this money we lost? Because I'll tell you this right now, we're already at a loss, because our tax rate is supposed to be 25 cent per person. Well, our tax rate is not 25, it's 29, which means we're already in debt. Think about it. We're already in debt. We're already there. And we have to get out of it. Well, you put your council people in, remind them, first of all, you can take them out because they were taken out before, but stay on them, because I myself refuse to pay for their shortage. I refuse to pay because we had past and previous people who decided to, you know, make the city their fund account, as I'll call it, to fund what they wanted to do. So, you know, stop listening to the dog and pony show. And everybody rushes to the city council meeting because you think at the city council meeting you're gonna find out something. I don't know what planet you're coming from, because it's just not how it's gonna be done. It isn't. You're gonna have to file open records requests to stay alive and on top of this. Don't sit back and say they just gonna lie to me, so I'm gonna deal with it. No. Hold their feet to the fire, because what else are they gonna check? What else are they gonna do to us? You know, we have a mud being built, and that's a development that one of our builders, he's building basically a city, and guess who's got to fund the city? He's building. We do. The infrastructure, the water pipes and all that, we have to fund that. You know why we're funding that? Because you didn't say anything about it. You didn't say anything about it. You thought it was okay. You know, yeah, and the person who's building a small city outside in the city of Killeen, can he afford to pay for everything? Sure, but he's not going to, because he found a way to make the city pay for it. And somehow or another, we've been crazy enough to say nothing about it. You know, and when I heard about the mud, I went searching to figure out what it was first. Found out what it was. It's basically he's building a city, and we're paying the infrastructure part because he found a loophole to do so. And what did we say about it? Nothing. We just let it go. We just roll over and let it go. So I want to ask you, how many times are we going to roll over and let things go? Just how long do we continue doing that? When we need to stand up and say something. Yeah. Whenever you see a city council person, I don't care where he is, he's still a city council. He or she, still a city council person. I don't care where you see him at. If you see him at a ball game, they're still a city council person. There's no turn on and turn off of who they are and what they do. So ask them questions. Ask them. Talk to them. You know, make it where they're nervous and leave. You know, just make them uncomfortable. You know, don't go, hi, I'm glad to meet you. No. I'm glad but what are you going to do about this? Why are we glad? Yeah, what you going to do about it? What are you going to say about it? Ask them. Hold them to it. You know, they're there. They were elected for this, so you know you should do it. But anyway, I would like to thank you all for listening to KISS Community Connections 103.1 KISS FM. I want you to always remember you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye now.